So I've been browsing eBay for a while looking for PSPs, and one day I found a deal I just couldn't turn down, so I bought 3. This was my first time ever with a Sony console, let alone a portable Sony console, and the PSP blew me away. Compared to the 3DS, the build quality feels so much better and premium, and the screen is crazy good for what the PSP is. Along with that, the discs are super cool, even if they are a bit useless and loud. I took apart my PSP to clean the buttons, and that even surprised me with how easy it was to do. One last thing is that the PSP is deceptively small. I thought it was gonna be like maybe 1.5 times my phone, if not bigger, but they're literally the same size. My phone is 6 inches, by the way, and it's smaller than a new 3DS XL, which is pretty crazy. First thing I did was sail the high seas. I learned that I needed things called plugins, which let me load custom things onto the PSP. So I got the VSH launcher thing, and I installed FreeStore along with a plugin that lets me use games without an official license, so I don't get the error code. I wouldn't recommend using FreeStore because it literally took 2 hours to download Little Big Planet. But after waiting a long time, I could play PSP and PS1 games that I wanted. If you do this, I would just recommend looking up like yourgame.iso and then just transfer the file to an ISO thing on the root of your SD card. Themes. I struggled with this for a very long time, and I still am. The plugin for downloading themes, which is CXMB, didn't work for me, and none of my themes loaded. After a little bit of research, I learned that I needed to update the themes to 6.61, but that didn't work for me either. I decided to just use a PTF theme instead of a custom one, and it worked. Yeah. After that, I looked up a guide on how to make my own themes, and it was super easy and quick, and I would just highly recommend that. By the way, if any of you guys know what I did wrong, here's my plugins folder, and maybe you guys know why no themes are showing up for me. Throughout downloading things I wanted, I found a bunch of cool little plugins, like quality of life things, but easily my favorite was swapping the O and the X buttons to make it more like Nintendo controls, which was very kind for my brain. Would I recommend buying a PSP in 2025? Actually, yeah. If you don't want or can't afford a PS Vita, then you should just get a PSP. There's so many things you can do on it. I do have to say though, you need to be willing to put in a little bit of time because there's going to be a lot of troubleshooting. But the real question is, do I recommend this over a 3DS? Honestly, maybe yeah. You can find PSPs for 1/2 or even 1/3 of the price of a good 3DS. And it's almost as capable, if not more capable than a 3DS, unless you want to play DS and 3DS games. Also, it's technically smaller too, but to me the clamshell design will always be better than a tablet design.